Hello, I'm Maya Dampier, and today we will be learning about classical conditioning. So classical conditioning occurs when an existing response to a particular stimulus becomes attached to a new stimulus due to the repeated pairing of the old stimulus to the new one. There are three stages to classical conditioning. Stage 1. Unconditioned stimulus in the environment produces an unconditioned response. Stage 2. Unconditioned stimulus becomes a conditioned stimulus. Stage 3. Conditioned stimulus has been established and is connected to the conditioned response. Classical conditioning was developed by a Russian psychologist named Ivan Pavlov. He created this idea of conditioning when experimenting with some of the stray dogs around Russia. Pavlov was researching the salivation in dogs in response to being fed. He inserted a small test tube into the cheek of each dog to measure saliva when the dogs were fed a meat powder. Over time, he noticed that his dogs began to salivate before the meat powder was even presented. They would salivate just by the presence of the handler and by a clicking noise produced by the device that distributed the meat powder. Pavlov was interested in this, so he decided to start a little experiment. He paired the meat powder with various stimuli, like the ringing of a bell. After doing this many times, the dogs then responded by salivating to the sound of the bell, even if there was no food present. Pavlov did this with many of the stray dogs in Russia. He even named them. Some of the names include Molodets, which means good boy, Millard, Rogji, which means old Russian prince, and Rex. This is one of the most popular examples of classical conditioning, and it is still referenced over a century later. Thank you for watching. I hope you now know more about classical conditioning.